Flats reacts to Overwatch 2 TikToks that are actually good. I see my goofy face on the thumbnail, and I see my vid, supports equal healers, which was made based on a vid I saw of Flats where he got passionate when someone said that supports are healers, or like they called this support a healer. He was just like, you can't do that. And I was like, why not?
Dude, I just didn't understand.
I don't understand why we can't call supports in Overwatch 2 healers. What does every single support do in Overwatch 2? They heal. It's like saying...
Because it's a misconception. If you call it a healer, you think your only job is to heal. You're not supposed to be active, doing damage, doing cooldown, stuff like that. It's about a perception issue.
You can't call the apple tree that gives you apples an apple tree. Sure, it gives you apples, but we can't call it an apple tree. Why the...
What? I'm sorry, what? What was...
All right, he's gonna listen to my analogy like 3 times here. You can't call the apple tree that gives you apples an apple tree. It's like the same thing as saying you can't call supports, which give you heals, healers. Why not? Everyone knows what you're talking about. It's not a hard thing to understand, and every single last support heals. It is the expectation in a game. If you play a game and you have a Zen that is a 0 healing, you're gonna have a problem. Obviously, you can't expect a Zen to do the most healing or do a bunch of healing, but you still expect heals. And some folks would be like, oh, Soldier is a healer now. You don't expect the Soldier 76 to do a lot of healing. Yo, Soldier, the heal numbers looking kind of low, bud. Bring them up. Nobody will tell you that ever. That's not a thing that they say. Supports do more than just healing, right? Apple trees give more than just apples. Shelter, wood, leaves.
No, that makes no sense. That's the worst analogy I've ever fucking heard. That's like calling an F-150 a car.
My analogy is the worst one you ever heard. I think that was the worst one you ever said. What does that even mean? It'd be more like calling an F-150 a vehicle. It's a synonym. Supports that all heal, the synonym for that would be healers. You would know what I'm talking about, right? If I told you, hey, Flats, can you go ahead and swap to a different healer? You wouldn't be like, what do you mean, bro? What do you mean? It's like, Zen, Moira, Kiriko, Baptiste, different healer. You'd know what I mean. And the whole video is legit based on, I think, a vid I saw of you, where you got onto somebody for saying healer, and you're like, you can't call him that. You have to call him supports. I'm like, I don't understand the whole idea of gatekeeping language at all when you know exactly what they mean. New player perception. Dude, the new players should focus on healing first and then work their way to other stuff.
Technically, it has the characteristics of a car. It has 4 wheels. It's a transportation vehicle. It is registered as a motor vehicle. The F-150s don't have to have a special license like you do with like an 18-wheeler of a motorcycle. You have a Class D license for it, so it is technically a car, but it's not a car. It's a truck. It's on a different frame. It has more power, typically a V8, good at hauling. It's a much...
He knows a lot about vehicles.
Much higher ride height. That's the difference. You don't call trucks you don't call an F-150 a car. You'd call it a truck. That's the analogy that you're shooting for here. Not if an apple tree is an apple tree, you can't call it an apple tree. That makes no fucking sense. An F-150 is a car, but it's realistically a truck because it does all these other things and has all these other characteristics. That's the same thing with support and healer. You call it a support because it's not just healing. You have damage, you have cooldowns, anti-healing, stuns, immortality field, cleanse. You have all these other abilities that make it a support as opposed to a healer.
Okay, listen to what we just said, right? You named a bunch of different things aside from just healing that supports do. And because of that, we can't call supports healers. Keep that in mind. Sure, it gives you apples.
So, shit example.
But we can't call it an apple tree. Why the?
Rude.
Why not? If it makes the most sense.
Well, it doesn't.
And in my case, I come from, playing games like MMOs and whatnot, where you had healers and stuff, and it's like...
Because you do healing.
We can't... Nah. There's like, either you didn't play MMOs, or you're trying to gloss over the fact that in MMOs, healers do way more than just heal. They have cleanses, they have debuffs, they have revives, they have all kinds of utility, and some even do some damage here and there. So we can't gloss over that and just say, in Overwatch, things are different, even though in MMOs, it's like the same concept entirely. But in MMOs, people aren't weird. They don't feel like they have to correct your speech based on what they want to hear. No one's ever been in an MMO and be like, yo guys, can we get a different healer? A healer? I thought, don't you mean support? But they're called supports, bro. They do way more than just heal. No one does that because it's weird. It's strange. It's really weird to try and correct, I guess, like things that everyone understands. It's weird to correct speech that everybody comprehends for no reason. I hate when people get bent out of shape whenever you say something, even though they know exactly what you're saying. You said support, not healer. Oh, but you know I meant healer, you freaking muppet. Like, come on now. I don't.
Okay, so, okay. The last point's actually decent. It's like you.
That's the whole point of the video. That's the whole point of the video, bro. Is explaining the commonalities between support and healer. The healers in this video did not heal once. Hey guys, did you see that little yellow thing next to Winston right there? That's called my harmony orb. If he's taking damage, he's getting healed. That's crazy.